Every day, you have a choice. You can let the chaos of life control you, or you can take the reins and master yourself. Discipline is the weapon that separates the weak from the unstoppable. It's not easy, it's not glamorous, but it is the one thing that guarantees results. If you want to change your life, you have to embrace the grind and stay disciplined no matter what. Step 1. Discipline equals freedom. Discipline equals freedom. It sounds simple, but it is one of the hardest truths to fully understand and even harder to live by. Most people think freedom means doing whatever they want, whenever they want. That's not freedom. That's chaos disguised as choice. True freedom is earned, it is fought for, and it is built through discipline. Discipline gives you the ability to control your life instead of letting your impulses, your emotions, or the circumstances around you control you. It gives you the power to make decisions that serve your long-term goals, rather than surrendering to short-term desires that keep you trapped, stuck, and powerless. Every small action you take to train yourself, to hold yourself accountable, to push yourself beyond what is easy, compounds into a life where you are the one in control. Discipline is not a punishment, it is the framework for liberty. When you wake up before everyone else, when you stick to your plan, even when it's uncomfortable, when you resist the urge to quit or to compromise, you are creating space in your life for true choice. You are not bound by laziness, distractions, or fleeting pleasure. The more disciplined you become, the more options you have. You can take risks. You can chase goals that others only dream of. You can build strength, health, wealth, and mental toughness that most people never touch because they refuse to put in the work. Each act of self-control, each small victory over temptation is a brick in the foundation of your freedom. Most people avoid discipline because it feels restrictive. They see rules, schedules, routines, and sacrifice, and they run from it. But the reality is the exact opposite. Discipline liberates you from the chaos and indecision that controls the lives of the untrained. Without discipline, your life is dictated by your impulses, by the convenience of the moment, by the opinions of others. With discipline, you decide, you lead, you shape your reality. Every choice to act intentionally, every commitment you keep even when it hurts, every boundary you enforce compounds over time into a life where you are no longer a slave to circumstance. Freedom is not a gift. It is earned through consistent effort, through the hard, unglamorous work of staying disciplined when no one is watching. Step 2, start before motivation. Most people wait for motivation to strike. They wait for the perfect mood, the perfect time, the perfect circumstance to show up. They think motivation is a spark that comes before action, a feeling that magically pushes them into greatness. That is a lie. Motivation is fleeting. Motivation is unreliable. Motivation will leave you at the exact moment you need it most. You cannot rely on feelings. You cannot wait for energy to align with your goals. If you want results, if you want to change your life, you must start before motivation exists. You act first, and the energy comes after. You take control before you feel ready. Starting before motivation means showing up when your body screams no. It means opening your eyes at 4 a.m., tying your shoes, and forcing yourself into action while everyone else is still asleep. It means doing the work, grinding, executing the plan, even when your mind is telling you to rest, to scroll, to delay, to quit. That is how habits are built. That is how consistency is forged. Waiting for inspiration or desire is a trap. It is a way to justify inaction and to remain average. Champions, warriors, leaders, they do not wait. They act. They start before they feel like it. They push when it is uncomfortable, and they push again the next day. The reality is that action creates momentum, not the other way around. Motivation is a byproduct of discipline and consistency. When you start before motivation, you develop resilience. You train your mind and body to overcome resistance, to push past excuses, to dominate the internal voice that says, "Not today." Each time you take action without the guarantee of desire, you strengthen your capacity to perform under pressure. You prove to yourself that your results are not dependent on feelings. They are dependent on commitment, on stubborn refusal to quit, on the decision to act regardless of circumstance. Starting before motivation also means accepting discomfort as part of growth. Nothing worth achieving is convenient. Nothing worth having comes with a guarantee of pleasure. You will feel tired. You will feel lazy. You will feel resistance at every turn. But those moments are your proving ground. Those moments are the training ground of discipline. You start anyway. You move anyway. You execute anyway. That is how greatness is built. One decision, one action, one repeated step at a time. Step 3, eliminate weakness. Weakness is everywhere. It hides in your habits, your choices, your routines, and even in the thoughts you allow to dominate your mind. The first step to growth is recognizing it. Being brutally honest about where you fall short, about the areas where you give in too easily, where you take the easy road, where you let comfort and fear dictate your actions. Most people avoid this truth. They make excuses, they blame circumstances, they pretend that weakness is acceptable. But weakness is not a neutral state. It is a chain. Every time you give in to it, it binds you further. Every time you allow laziness, procrastination, or distraction to win, it tightens. To achieve excellence, you must eliminate it completely. You must be merciless in your pursuit of strength. Eliminating weakness requires action, not intention. Awareness is not enough. You must confront the habits that hold you back, the people and environments that weaken your resolve, and the mental patterns that excuse failure. You identify them, you isolate them, and you remove them. Weakness cannot be tolerated. It cannot be negotiated with. You cannot wish it away. You cannot simply hope that discipline will somehow fix it without targeted effort. Strength is built by eliminating what is holding you down and replacing it with habits that reinforce toughness, resilience, and relentless commitment. This is not easy, this is not comfortable, but every act of self-limitation that you remove, every compromise that you reject, every distraction that you cut out of your life brings you closer to the person you are capable of becoming. Eliminating weakness also means embracing the discomfort that comes with growth. Weakness thrives in comfort. It thrives in the moments when you choose ease over challenge. To destroy it, you must seek difficulty. You must face fear head on. You must push through pain, fatigue, and doubt to strengthen every muscle, every skill, every part of your mind and body that is vulnerable. There is no shortcut. There is no half measure. Every small victory over weakness compounds into a level of capability most people never reach because they refuse to do the hard work, because they are unwilling to look at themselves honestly and take decisive, sometimes ruthless action. When you eliminate weakness, you create space for strength, freedom, and control. Your mind sharpens, your body responds, your confidence grows. Every decision becomes easier because you are no longer negotiating with limitations that you once accepted as normal. Weakness is a choice, and you have the power to refuse it, to destroy it, and to build a version of yourself that cannot be shaken. Step 4, own your decisions. Owning your decisions is the cornerstone of discipline and personal power. Every outcome in your life, good or bad, traces back to the choices you've made. Too many people refuse to take responsibility. They blame circumstances, they blame other people, they blame luck. But the truth is that every step you take or fail to take shapes your reality. Excuses are a way of relinquishing control, a way to remain a victim in a world where winners take ownership. When you own your decisions, you reclaim control. You stop giving your power away. You stop letting external factors dictate your life. You accept that you are the architect of your own fate, and that accountability is not optional. It is mandatory. Owning your decisions is not about perfection. It's about honesty, courage, and relentless self-awareness. It's about acknowledging the moments when you chose comfort over growth, distraction over focus, passivity over action, and committing to never make the same mistake again. Every decision carries weight, and your ability to consistently make the right decisions compounds into results that are undeniable. But you cannot skip this step. You cannot avoid the hard truth that your life is a reflection of your choices. Every action you take or fail to take matters. Every word you speak, every habit you maintain, every commitment you honor or break is a choice, and owning those choices is what separates the weak from the strong, the ordinary from the unstoppable. The power of owning your decisions also lies in the freedom it provides. When you refuse to blame others, you stop being reactive and start being proactive. You stop being at the mercy of circumstance and start creating outcomes. You develop clarity, focus, and a mindset that thrives under pressure because you know that whatever happens next is your responsibility, and that is liberating. Fear of failure disappears because failure is no longer a reflection of external forces. It is a reflection of your own action, and that can be corrected, adapted, and learned from. Owning your decisions demands discipline, consistency, and courage. It is uncomfortable because it forces you to confront your flaws, face the consequences of your mistakes, and resist the temptation to rationalize or justify. But in that discomfort is growth. In that honesty is power. In that relentless acceptance of personal responsibility is the ability to shape your life according to your highest standards rather than letting life happen to you. Step 5. Outwork everyone. Outwork everyone. That's not just a phrase, it's a mandate. Most people talk about their goals, dream about success, and fantasize about what they want to achieve, but very few are willing to put in the work it actually takes. Hard work is uncomfortable. It is exhausting. It requires pushing past the point where most people stop, where excuses begin, where laziness whispers that you've done enough. Outworking everyone means showing up when others are sleeping, grinding when others are resting, and executing when others are distracted or uncommitted. It means consistently doing the things no one sees, the things that don't bring instant gratification, the things that build strength, skill, and resilience over time. Every step, every rep, every moment of focus is an investment in the results that will set you apart from the crowd. Outworking everyone is about embracing the grind, not for recognition, not for applause, but because you understand that the only way to dominate is through relentless effort. It is a lifestyle, a mindset, a refusal to accept mediocrity. While others wait for motivation or inspiration, you act. While others quit at the first sign of difficulty, you push harder. While others complain about the unfairness of life, you rise and make life fair through sweat, discipline, and consistency. The effort you put in today compounds into unmatched performance tomorrow. Success is not an accident. It is the result of sustained work ethic, discipline, and a refusal to be outdone by anyone else. Outworking everyone also means holding yourself to a higher standard than anyone else expects. It means doing the extra mile when no one notices, mastering the fundamentals when everyone else skips them, and enduring the pain that others avoid. It's not glamorous, it's not easy, but it is the only path to true excellence. You become unstoppable not because you are the most talented, but because you are the most relentless, the most consistent, the most willing to do what must be done, day in and day out. While others are distracted by comfort or excuses, you are focused, disciplined, and committed to dominating every arena of your life. Outworking everyone creates confidence, strength, and freedom. It builds a mindset that is unshakable because you know you have put in more than anyone else. You leave nothing to chance. You refuse to rely on luck, shortcuts, or external factors. Every victory, every achievement, every breakthrough is earned through your effort, your sweat, and your unrelenting commitment to work harder than anyone around you. Step 6. Mental toughness is built daily. Mental toughness is not born. It is forged. It is built every single day through repeated effort, through facing resistance, through enduring discomfort, and refusing to quit. Most people think mental toughness is a natural trait, something you either have or you don't. That is false. Mental toughness is developed, hammered into your mind and body through consistent, deliberate action. Every time you choose to act when it's hard, every time you push past the voice in your head telling you to stop, every time you refuse to surrender to fear, doubt, or pain, you are strengthening your mental capacity. This is not a one-time event. It is a process. It is a lifestyle. It is the relentless repetition of saying yes to challenge and no to comfort. Building mental toughness daily requires confronting your weaknesses and fears head on. It is not about avoiding discomfort. It is about seeking it, embracing it, and learning to thrive within it. Every morning you wake up early to train, every task you complete when you don't feel like it, every boundary you enforce against laziness or distraction, these are the building blocks of a strong mind. The people who succeed in life do not do so because they are luckier or smarter. They do so because they have conditioned themselves to persevere when most would quit, to endure when most would fold, and to rise when most would stumble. Mental toughness is a habit, and habits are built by consistent action over time. The reality is that challenges are constant. Life will test your patience, your focus, your discipline, and your resolve. Mental toughness is the armor that allows you to face those challenges without crumbling. It is the ability to remain composed when everything is chaotic, to remain disciplined when every instinct tells you to stop, to remain committed when the easier path is to quit. Every obstacle you overcome, every hardship you endure, every moment you push past doubt adds layers of strength to your mental framework. Mental toughness is also a mindset. It is the refusal to be defined by circumstances. It is the understanding that pain, discomfort, and struggle are not enemies. They are teachers. They are the tools used to shape you, to prepare you for the life you want to live. Every day is an opportunity to test yourself, to improve, and to harden your mind for the battles that lie ahead. The small actions you take consistently, the sacrifices you make without reward, the discipline you enforce on yourself even when it's uncomfortable, all of it compounds into a mental fortitude that cannot be shaken. Discipline is the foundation of freedom and the key to every success. Show up, push harder, and take ownership of every action. Outwork everyone, embrace the struggle, and build mental toughness every single day. Stay disciplined, stay relentless, and own your life.